I am sketching a castle. Yes, but I do have my cards. And if there's any questions I may have missed, you really wanted to ask me about whatever, you can leave it on the shorts. But I did this at Facebook today. I thought that was interesting. So it's supposed to be an angel, and then I put the arm in the wrong place. So I ended up just using that like a decal. And I put a cross there. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm trying to challenge myself. So I'm gonna try to do a detailed castle because I'm gonna see who I get in the live stream and who I don't. So if it get too hot, I'm gonna take this off. But anyways, my sweater, of course. But I did hear exciting news today. I guess Mr. Trump is going to invest in alternative fluid. I mean fluids and alternative fuels, which makes it better for the critters. Much better for the little critters. Because when they're drilling and going in the ocean and this and that and all these oil rigs, it's not good for the environment. And Elon Musk, I mean, love him or hate him, what they're doing is not even, it's actually environmentally good what they're doing. So you really can't be mad about it. Yeah, he's disrupting the social status quo a lot lately, with some people just, I guess, because he does have his views about things, but he's not a horrible person. I mean, he is trying to make things better in his own way. But all of us have our flaws. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. The only one that's perfect is God, or maybe the angels too. So, amen. And we're going to go on to this castle here because the environment is something I feel very passionate about. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. I got lots of people today. Oh, boy. I didn't think I was going to get anybody this quick. I'd made this over on Facebook today. And actually, this one, Angels, is a really hard draw. Oh, I'm good. I'm real good. I've been going on my little doctor's appointments, the stupid ones when you gotta see the podiatrist and all this little stupid stuff. And I have my 4 days off because I told my work that they mentally stress me out. So I take I just work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm done. But this is what I do. Because I don't let people stress me out. And you guys shouldn't either. When people are mean to you, kind of just do what I do. Just say, okay, and then walk away. It's the best practice. I do this to my scheduler at work all the time. When she pisses off the whole bunch of people and they're cussing them or her out because they put them in the wrong spot or she didn't get the schedule right or yada yada. She's a horrible person sometimes. But I feel people that getting these kind of power positions sometimes, they could be that way. But I guess it is what it is. I'm cascading this water. But this is why I like to live stream and I like to draw. But I got these, I don't know If you guys were here in the one stream, my one friend Carol from work, she got me acrylic paint markers. And a lot of my stuff is turning out better. Because I did, on these other streams, I did a lighthouse. I'm just practicing. Those are hard too, lighthouses. I did this, and it has the acrylic stuff on it. And it's actual. I don't gotta keep getting my paintbrushes, and it's almost like sketch painting. It really is. And then I made this with my little sketch markers that have actual paint in them. And then the one I think I did the best at was Iron Man. I don't know what. I was on Facebook for like an hour and a half because I get subscriptions over there too. They got their issues. They really do, but I've been over there like 2 years. I make a little money over there. So I can't sit there and not. And last time I didn't do a lot of stuff over there. A lot of the live streamers over there was getting kind of crazy and said I don't know where my live button is and stuff. So I've been going over there once a day. But I'm doing the water, and the water is going to look a lot better than this. I do an outline before I get to these markers. What is this? It's a live stream. And I'm not going to sit there and talk to you about the planets and how this is aligned with this. And honestly, I just see energy. And I never really was, I guess, my mother. God bless her soul. I do see her all the time because I do see dead people a lot. She was very intuitive and knew about these planets and everything and protecting herself with auras. I never really studied a lot of that. I study science. And I guess my unique view of astrology and all this is I believe it's directly related to science. And I guess what it's mostly related to, I want to say the multi-dimensional stuff would be where like all this astrological stuff is. And it used to be a thing. I used to have arguments with my mom. I used to tell her all the time that science, had something to do with all that, and I think I got a lot of my intuition and abilities from her because does go in bloodlines. But I was always more interested in science because science is pretty much is almost, if you think about it, is like things like this. It's a study of energy. And I want to say quantum physics in particular would, I guess, give somewhat of proof. And they used to say for the longest time, because I was always a quantum physics fan. So for a long time, I would always swear to God there was, all this stuff. And then I would have the Catholic Church tell me, oh, no, you're crazy and yada, yada, yada. That's what they do. And anyways, because I was raised Roman Catholic and my mom was a spiritualist, which was a weird kind of thing. But it is what it is. She was a good person. But I always seen energy more. And I used to tell my mom there's something to energy and there's something to quantum physics that relates to stuff with the planets and astrological stuff. Because if you think about it, where the Aries is, there's the Aries constellation that's in a quadrant, an exact quadrant of space. And now we got the James Webb Telescope out over there. And you see the Milky Way. And I think a lot of activity and energy comes from there. And I do think we have different dimensions. And it's being proved in science. I'm not even a crazy person no more. I used to just be, people thought I was crazy because I believed in all these, that this could be big and a real thing. And I've always believed that. And, when I was growing up, because I'm 50, and when I was growing up, it was unheard of. And the Catholic Church said that science didn't exist and people were crazy that believed in science and this and that. And I said, how are we standing? It's one thing I used to tell the Catholic Church all the time. And then I got ostracized. They would get really mad at me all the time, the nuns. But I kept to my principles. I'm going to try to do this little tree thing up here because it's showing up here. This is a really pretty castle. It's not going to look exactly like the drawing, but I'm going to kind of get the layout kind of the way I want it before I get my acrylic markers going. But anyways, when I got to that point with the nuns and everything, they pretty much told me I was horrible. But all through Catholic history, the monks, and there was a specific one, Mendel. He had he believed in science, and he believed that he had a garden, and he was growing peas, and he only grew one strain of peas. Is it your man in the background? What man? What about a man in the background? No, I don't know about a man in the background. I don't got anybody. I got Chong's by the door sleeping. My man is live streaming on Twitch, screaming his head off about his name is, they call him Coco. So, and he'll be yelling, "Eat my cocoa ass" and all this stuff. So you might hear a lot of that, but that's the only thing in the background. But anyway, this Mendel guy, he just seen that there, no matter when he tried to separate his peas, these peas at some point he would get a different variety of peas. The church at that point in time decided to exile him. So he got exiled, he got brought to a village. He continued his studies. He actually, and at that time, we're talking medieval times, dark ages, and people were starving. He would help the village. He really would. And they would bring him, he would do his paper, and then, monks aren't going to marry, and he was a good monk. He wasn't one of these monks that were dingling with all the, having sex and being all with these people. He actually believed in the faith, and he just studied, and he fed the people, he helped the kids, and he was very revered. And the Catholic Church you know, just said, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And ended up that he, with all of his research, they used that research, which was crazy. From, God, it was like, I want to say 1300s, but I think it was older than that. And people got ideas. And then they said, well, maybe, there's other things. So, going on. So they further studied this and realized that the man was not wrong. And from him studying peas and helping a village, we know about the double helix. Of course, the Catholic Church. I'm just doing a little brushing. I'm not going to be able to do this whole scene the way I like it, so we're just going to do a piece of it. But yeah, just from that little voyage, hundreds of years later, obviously we got the double helix. But same thing with spiritualism. I believe spiritualism and science go hand in hand. That I believe. Oh God, I keep breaking these. I'm going to buy a new box. But I do believe they go hand in hand in a lot of aspects because we're coming up with all the stuff we're seeing from space. And where does energy come from? Where and who really got? We know God is not a person. God couldn't be a person because if God was a person, I mean, they would probably be overloaded with energy. I think the energy of God and all these multi dimensions. See, I made me a little tree here. I'm just doing I guess the bottom half of this castle because I'm not going to have enough room for it all. But I think a lot of that energy is in our Milky Way, but then some spiritualists say that God is everything. So I guess it's a big argument, but I think science now is proving the more of an existence. And I think a lot of our spiritualism comes from that. And I do believe in the linear theory, and I do believe they are multi dimensions because a lot of scientists are saying that they're coming up with this technology and it's being proven that there is multi dimensions. So I'm making real thick branches for like the main branch, and I'm gonna add leaves to these. I'm just getting my trees done. I did the tree of life, and I tell you folks, trees are not easy. If you want to learn how to sketch, start with trees. I started with trees and flowers and try to get them as much as you can in detail, and you get a lot better results that you do. But yeah, and that's where I get a lot of my idealism is because I grew up in these times. And I guess that's why I don't really come on and know where all the planets are aligned in traditional astrology because my mother was more into that kind of stuff. I felt the energy and I see the spirits, but on the other hand, it's just like I'm just like bipartisan. It's like, where does this energy come from? Because I like to think outside the box. I've always thought outside the box. I used to drive I used to drive nuns crazy. I really did. I was in Catholic school and the girls were smoking in the bathroom. Of course, I smoked a cigarette in the bathroom. And everybody go, "Oh, you could smoke in the bathroom, sister, blah blah blah, won't know." And we did, and that was probably the worst thing I ever did. And then when I was older, I wanted to try pot. And I was smoking a little bit, but back in my day, it was not like it was now. Not at all. In my day, it was just Reggie. But it was funny because my uncles, they used to always. So one day I was trying to hide it, and I had all these incense going, all of them. And my uncles like came up to me and they were laughing their ass off, and they're like, we don't care if you are smoking weed. They're like, you don't have to burn the incense because they were smoking it too. I'm making these little bushes, and when you make these little bushes, you go like this. You go this way and that way. This relaxes me. But that's where I get my spiritualism ideas. Is I like to research things. And I really think people that are more sensitive to things, I think it has to do with these multi dimensions. And I think like certain people are more sensitive to the energy fields in these dimensions. And that's why certain people pick up things and certain people don't. That's why I was on Facebook. I'm on Facebook most of the day, actually. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I'm always in there because I got to do all these streams and stuff because I got so many profiles and I got so much stuff going on. But anyways, there was a tarot lady, and there was like about your spirit animal, and I go, okay, whatever. Let's see what this is about. And I'm sitting there, and then they go, we'll hook you up to psychic after they ask you 50 questions. I'm like, what the hell is this about? And then when they do these readings, they don't go by your energy or what they really, and they don't really contact with any spirits. They don't do that at all.
Sweetie, question.
Yeah.
You want the rest of this? The frappe?
Yeah, if you don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it. Put it in the fridge unless you want to drink it now.
You can. I'll drink it now.
Okay. Here you go.
I'm making a little bridge. But yeah, and then I go in there, and then and then after they ask me all these questions, they said they're gonna hook me up to a psychic.
There we go, Chong. There you go. No treats in the hand. There you go.
Oh, so you stopped training before I could tape you.
I just wanted to see if he would do it without a treat. To see if my progress is working. It's working. That's all.
Well, good. I'm glad. You're wonderful. Anyways, but I go in there and I'm just wondering to myself, is like, what is wrong with these people? You go in there, they're asking you all this stuff. They pretty much know like 20 things about you, and then you're supposed to get a reading. And then they always mention the planets and this and that, or your sign, but could it be that our signs are just portals, the energies to different dimensions? And maybe, I mean, I know that it's been like in ancient times that all this astrological stuff came about. My mind always wanders to science. But in ancient times, we didn't know about certain things. I'm just taking little, to make these little bushes, I just literally cross over my little lines like this. They're so easy. And it looks so complicated when you get on Etsy and stuff. But could it be that maybe that's the way they perceived it, and maybe we just kind of keep it going? And maybe they are actually, because some people are just naturally born, they say, empaths. Who is out there, Chong? Every time I stream, there has to be a party. Chong, whatever dog's out there, you're not going. I'm sorry. There's always chaos up in this house. But anyways, I'm singing. Is it possible that these clusters, they say Aries and all that, are portals to a different time, and the way they kind of, I just do little X's for some of my bushes to give them like to that overgrown look that you really need a landscaper. And then I just take this and this is all with pastels before I really get into things here. But I'm thinking maybe like they seen different energy fields, and people perceive things different at different points in time. And if you really scientifically look at astrology, we're talking like this came from Mayan cultures a long time ago, way before we were even thought of. And all these advancements came where they didn't even know about space. They just know they seen things out there. But there was nothing out there that could actually, show them. So they thought of all these astrological signs, and they got ideas, which they probably weren't wrong, but didn't have all the information. So I'm thinking maybe Aries is a porthole of energy. Because they always say with quantum physics, there's everything comes to a pivotal point before the porthole opens. The pivotal point, possibly. These are, oh yeah, these are these here, and they're dual tipped. And I'm thinking to myself, why not? Do you think maybe that's a possibility? But they were picking up energy from like these, and they were calling, and I like to call them the ley lines of space because we have ley lines here, and that's scientifically proven. The ley lines are just points in the Earth's vortex that we're on that they can prove that exert a lot of energy. And there's been a lot of like unexplainable things like people passing by from different times and different things like that, and these ley lines. If there's ley lines here on Earth, why wouldn't there be ley lines in space? And I'm thinking these astrological signs and everything are ley lines. And maybe they just, and I'm not saying that all the ancient Egyptians and stuff was wrong. I'm just saying maybe they were seeing something and they just, to them, it was perceived a different way than really what it was. And certain people are just more, are everybody's sensitive to energy, but some people are more sensitive than others. I'm not more special than you guys. Not at all. So I guess I'm just doing the outside of this. So I want this to kind of pop out. I'm not special. I mean, just because I can like feel the ley lines, I guess a little bit, and I'm more sensitive to it, doesn't mean that you're not sensitive in other ways to some other energy going around in your world. If that makes any sense. But these random thoughts used to come to me at an early age. And of course, my mother, God rest her soul, she's here now, but she thought I was very scientific. They wanted me to go to the military and be do stuff with like bombs and stuff because I really love science. And I'm not all into. I refuse to have a career that would hurt people, so I would not go to the military. But, anyways, I'm thinking maybe that's why I always told my mom, I don't think you're wrong. I think science, and I believe science correlates with astrology, and I believe it all comes together in one lump sum. That's my belief. I don't like to bullshit people. I don't like to sit there and I mean, I see what I see. Sometimes I might see something different than somebody else might see, but I think that's where the differences come is everybody has this intuition. And a lot of times I do work through cards because I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be a TV show over here where all day I'm just absorbed in just that. I believe we're all here for a purpose. And I believe our purposes just lay in things that we get involved in and things that we were meant to do that we get drawn to. I mean, some people were meant to do certain things. I believe we're all here for the balance. Here and there. See, here he is screaming in there. See, now he's going to scream about his cocoa ass now. Now there's the F word.
Oh, no, not Jade.
It never ends.
Damn, Jade. I'm sorry. Man, it was. Look, that's what
I'm sorry. He has the loudest damn mouth there is. That man has literally, I swear to God, you can hear him from everywhere. Now we gotta wait. I don't even know if that's appropriate. This is why I always say 18 and older. I apologize for the cursing of his Dead by Daylight stream in there. And his is definitely 18 and older. Alright, now see how better that's looking. With this acrylic paint.
Oh! I got your ass up!
See, I tell him I'm streaming. I always respect his stream. He gets on his stream. And screaming is in half of my stream.
What's up, baby? What's up?
This is what I don't understand.
I'm sweating bricks right now.
See, I don't think anybody wants to hear about him sweating bricks.
Oh, he left off me.
But I don't know, maybe you guys are gamers and you can like this type of thing, but he's the most disruptive thing in this house.
I think it's the blue house. If anyone's working.
I don't know when the screaming is gonna stop. I swear to God, I would never listen to his streams. They're not peaceful. Not at all. And I'm his wife saying this, so. But like I said, I'm not discrediting people, but maybe I like to do the tarot cards because I can see the dead people. And a lot of times I can tune into energy and they help me. And that's why I like the heart cards, but if I'm around really negative people, right in my gut, I feel like I'm ready to throw up. And I know when it's bad. So, alright, right in this area here to represent this, I'm going to do small lines. But I do believe I'm just going to do lines like this because it makes more sense. Sometimes with these sketchings, you got to do what makes more sense to your sketch. After you get, like, I needed to look at the bridge to kind of know how to set up my thing. But other than that, you kind of do your own thing. And I'm going to do this right around here because it kind of looks cool like that. I'll just do this here. But like I said, I don't understand. I think other people have different ways of saying things, like I said, and I think that they confuse people and say this has to be this way or that way, but I think sometimes people say the same thing. Sometimes people say the same thing and they confuse people. I just tell you guys what I personally see, but someone else might see something else, but I try to explain it in regular language. I am so sorry for all the screaming.
Come over here, mofo. You know you want this coke out.
Oh my God. I swear. One of these days. I have asked him not to scream like this when I'm at. I mean, I don't understand why it has to be so loud that the hallway can hear it. That is all I'm saying.
Come on.
And I try not to cuss in the stream, and this is what he does. Right when he's playing with his friends and all this, and people listen to him with this.
I'm gonna show them me.
I swear. But anyways, like I said, I can't even concentrate. I mean, this is ridiculous. Can you please not scream? I can't even do my stream. I can't even think about what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe he'll stop a second. Yeah, he is. He's the husband. I'm sorry. But yeah, the cards help because sometimes when the dead people are around and I'm trying to concentrate and just relax, they have better answers than me. And dead people times sometimes talk in riddles. They really do. They talk in riddles all the time. So that's what I hear and I see, and most of the time the people that surround me, I don't really try to have a lot of negative people around me, like in that, like if I just sense a bad presence or something, I try not to be having that. So all the presences that come and see me from time to time, and they come in and out. My mom's always usually here. They're good. They're happy people. So. Oh God. He says he doesn't even. He's not even that loud too. But yeah, that's why I guess a little different than everyone else in this. You're always behind me. Damn. I'm just putting little leaves over here. I'm gonna make some of life in here. I think he's finally calmed down from getting killed in there. But I guess why I do the tarot cards, because I'm not spending every minute of my life when you only have in this world about, I think, estimate of 50 or 60 years, they say, is a lifespan, unless you're like killed or something. But you might as well do something productive while you can. And I'm making these little leaves. I made so much little leaves. See, he's the reason half of it how I learned to live stream. But I don't know why people watch him. His streams aggravate me. But then maybe it's because I'm not a gamer. I don't know. A lot of people do like him though. But like I said, that's why I do things why, and I'm not discrediting any other psychic. I really am not. I think it's ridiculous if they're gonna charge you. He's not after you. He's after my cocoa booty. Get that wood, Mo. So how you doing, cuz? Let's get me now. But I don't think they should be charging, because when you do reading, you're tapping into different energy. And then when you tap into this different energy, sometimes when you tap into this energy, different people are saying different things. Or spirit guides, or whatever you want to call them, just the people that they associate with. So you can't say one's wrong over another, but I'm not going to sit there and study some I mean, I do have studied some ancient rituals from time to time. But I believe every bit of it? No. I believe in science, first and foremost. I believe that these spirits we see are maybe our images of the past or the present. Do I believe? I mean, I think that energy goes through these ley lines in space. Yes, I do believe that. And possibly when you pass over, maybe that's how you could visit your loved ones, is through these ley lines. I mean, linear theory, like popular scientists like to say, now that the existence was proven of quantum physics, I mean, anything's possible. And now they can't say you're crazy.
I'm just fucking staring at him. The fuck?
So,
Oh,
deja
fuck it
vu's
down.
real.
Go, I'm gonna instant it down. Go, go, go.
People from other planes are possible. So, I mean, if all this is possible, and it's possible to, like, to time travel in different ways through these portholes, then why not? So, if you go get a reading from one person, maybe the people they talk to are a little bit different, but I have the company of witches over here. I come from a long line of them. Most people in my family were witches. I was the only one that believed in science. And I will believe that. Maybe that's part of my good karma or whatever, because I always try to use my whatever abilities was given through my lineage to help people. This is why I don't even charge people when I do a good painting. I usually donate these because this helps calm me down. And it's something I enjoy and it helps me focus. So,
I did the same thing as Ghostface over the weekend.
When you focus, it's nice.
I got everyone 2 times.
So, okay, I think killing time's done. That Dead by Daylight, I swear. Everybody gets so excited and then they get so riled up, but they say it that they're having fun while they're getting riled up.
Run, you still behind you, girl?
You know, it is what it is.
Run, tough!
See, this is what they like to listen to, but that's his live streams.
Look behind you, make sure he's at the hole.
Alright, I'm putting leaves on this whole tree.
He's coming straight for you, bro! He's coming straight for you! He's going straight to the door. Get out, brother!
There, I'm just getting this tree done. But when I do my readings, sometimes, that's why I said I'm in the presence of generally either witches that are going through these ley lines or whatever, and the reason why they're connected to me is because witches are always connected to other witches through bloodlines because they're just a little more sensitive. So that's why I get a little bit of different readings. This is all acrylic marker. Thank God for her. Now I'm going to make some green bushes. And I want to keep this vegetation. I'm making X's. If you make X's, it's like overgrown trees. And you can do the X's in a lot of different ways. You just do a lot of X's. Like right in here, I did a bunch of X's. I mean, it's the easiest technique you can do. And I'm just doing an X and an X and an X over here. And then you do a couple lines. Like in the way it's at. And then I put another little bush. I'm trying to get it to where it's like half dead and half alive. And then you could go where you're waving the same way for those plants that kind of go this way. I did a bunch of those when I was practicing, and you can go all the way down also. And then you got another plant. You could like bring it out to where the one of those flat plants. Because sometimes you got to go 3-dimensional with that, and that's how you can make a 3-dimensional area. You're just coming up this way, up that way, and then you're making lines all around to give an appearance of that. See, I did it right there. And you're adding on to it. And when you're doing these kind of sketches, I think... See, I'm just doing little wavy lines here. Wavy lines there, fanning it out. Just fan it out. See? I just fanned it out a little. When you fan them out, you really look like you got... because there is a lot of plants like that in nature, so... And however you want it fanned out to be, like this one, I want to come out this way. Just have it go like that. And then you got that on the sides, like you're making tiny spiders. They look like little tiny spiders, these little, like when the grass comes up because it's always flattening out. Like I might do one around here. 'Cause I just don't want it to look so Halloweeny. And these, you can fan them out without a top. Like I'm doing that, fanning them out without a top. You just keep fanning them out. And here comes Chong. I don't know how he sits in there with all that screaming. This one I'm just making into a big circle. One against three, bye. Alright, then we go that way. See? We're just fanning it out. You just keep going through your whole thing like that because, like I said, it's not the season for Halloween, so you kind of want to make it look. I want to make it look overgrown, like no one's living in this, and it's just an area that just needs fixed up. And I'm gonna do a lot more of these here. And I'm just fanning these out. But if you guys have any questions, like I said, I'm here and I got my cards ready. I mean, I'm doing two things at once, so you can always put your question in again. Because I come over here because I just really I enjoy the live streaming life. It's fun. It makes me feel young again with this live streaming life. My people at my work think I'm stark mad. They just go, I don't understand all that shit. That's what they always say. I was like, it's not that hard to understand. You're getting on your phone and going on Facebook, so what's the difference? That's why I got to keep my Facebook groups, folks, because a lot of my friends are old. They're either 40s or 50s, and they don't understand about these things. And I've always kind of been good with electronics. I've fixed my computer a lot. And I'm very good at fixing computers. So this kind of wasn't that bad. I guess I just had I had to get a knack of how you live stream. Because, and how to pursue it, because it's a little bit different because I've always been a writer. And then I ran into the thing where my cover art. And I decided, let me see what I could do with my cover art then. And then I said, boy, this would be just a lot easier if I could do my own cover art for my book. I'm still kind of working on that, but getting a book published sometimes isn't the easiest thing in the world. It really isn't. So you kind of got to plan it out. So that's going to be a work in progress, I guess. But it's okay. I'm totally fine with being a work in progress. Maybe the spirits and just maybe things are meant for me to happen at a certain point in my life. And where it makes sense. You can't put a book out if you don't have an audience or you're not well known. I'm not famous, so if I do get the book out there, who's going to buy it or know about its existence if I don't at least connect with people? So I guess that's where we're at. And that's why I'm here. And I do have fun over here. And I do have a job. I do medical. That's why my friends think I'm stark mad for coming here. For these plants, I'm just going side to side. Because I do enjoy medical. I don't enjoy my scheduler, but I enjoy medical, if that makes any sense. I don't like her, but I like the patients. So I go in there every week to argue with her because she's a butthead. And we agree to disagree that we don't like each other, but I love the people. And I love the people I work with. I make crystal necklaces for them. I stay on Facebook and have 6 Facebook groups because they said they don't really go on here except for to listen to music. They do. A lot of people don't come over here unless it's listening to music or like certain like bounty tank or something. That's why music's so huge over here. It really is. That's not bad. I think that's about, I'm going to say that's a done product right here. See? Can I use your drawing? Sure. You can use my drawing if you want to. I'm going to post it. I'm going to post a picture of it. I mean, if you want to use it, go ahead. I don't care if you want to show a person a picture of it. I'm practicing. This is all my practice. I'm trying to get to where I can do a nice cover for my book. And I kind of want to have in my book, because it's Lily in the Darkness, I want to get a lily, and I was thinking of a storm coming in, but I'm thinking maybe a bridge or something, like overseeing, like maybe even a full moon would be cool. So I'm trying to get used to doing vegetation and just little stuff. So that's where I'm at with this. And then I'm going to go on here. Since I'm having a decent stream, I'll start another one. Sometimes I don't get people that. Sometimes I have a dead stream. I've been having dead streams lately, and if I have a dead stream and I'm done with my one thing, I just kind of move to the other. And that's about it. But yeah, I literally just got that drawing because I was thinking about drawing a castle, and then I noticed my paper was too small, so I just did a bridge by a castle. I get them from Etsy. I'm looking. I just look on Google, and I get my own ID, and they give you drawing ideas. Google is wonderful. I really like Google. I am a Google friend. I'm a friend of the Google. But yeah. But if you guys want a reading, you want. I mean, last time no one asked. We just kind of talked about drawing, and I'm fine with that too. Because, like I said, you shouldn't be consumed about the spirits every day of your life, because you won't be able to live your own life. And this is true facts. You got to think of where you're going in life and what you're doing, and enjoy the time you have while you're living, because like I said about the life expectancy being 50 and 60. If you're 20, you figure you got 30 good years, you might as well do something good with your 30 years. If you don't do anything good with your 30 years that you have, it's not fun for you. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try a log cabin. We'll see where this goes in the world. Log cabins, my friends, are very, very hard. They're very hard. I did a log cabin, but to get them the more detail, some of these log cabins I'm looking at on Etsy, they're like $400. The more detailed they are, the more money they are. That is crazy talk. Just for a damn sketch, I couldn't do it. I can't pay for a graphic artist right now. I can't pay the money. I could pay the money, yes, theoretically. I'm not poor. I could pay the money if I needed to, but is it worth it when you can make your own? So, I don't know. But you could use any of my drawings. I have them all on the community board. If you're subscribed, you can see them on my channel. I I post all of my artwork individually on the community board. And I do shorts with it. So it doesn't bother me in my posts on the community. It's just I'm just putting I drew this. And obviously I've taught myself all this. I'm drawing proficiently, so I mean everything turns you can look at this like I'm gonna try to do this log cabin right now. Alright. I'm gonna try to do this right now and it's not gonna look like that. I promise you it's not. It may look a little like that, but I get the whole kind of background. So, I mean, you know how to place it and the placings and all that because I kind of want a cabin placed in that setting. But mine's gonna turn out different. Just like if you look at anybody's work and try to use it to draw, you can. It's legal to use anybody's. You can. It's gonna be a little different every time you do it, and it's always good to learn from other people. So, alright, I'm gonna get more of my pastels. And anybody that's listening, start with your pastel when you do these sketchings. Before you get your acrylic markers or your paint or whatever, start with pastels. I have a. It doesn't matter what brand. It really doesn't. Go on Amazon and get them on sale. Because you're going to break them. I have a graveyard of pastels. I got all kinds of little pastels. And you're going to have this. And it's going to. You're going to accumulate this stuff either way. Alright. Here's another log cabin, but instead of these dreary colors that I just showed you, I'm going to try to do it like in a blue. I like a dark blue. I think dark blue looks nice with things like this. It gives it a little substance, so we're going to do that. That seems like it would be fun. Because you got a freehand sketch. I feel that you give more variety when you freehand sketch. And you teach yourself more. Because you got, see, this is a 3-dimensional look too, so you're going up this way. You're putting this on a slant a little because you're showing that 3-dimensional. When you do these pastels, you're bringing this up and out. Alright, and now you're going on that slant and coming down this way. You gotta get your dimensions right. Even when you start making this nice, you gotta move it this way. So you gotta get your this. You don't even have to watch a how-to. Just learn to freehand. Just to get your dimensions. Like I want to keep this window. I think this window's cool the way it hits set. And then I'm going to add my own stuff to this. Make it your own. It's always good to make these things your own. See, I want to make that window like that. I like that window better. I like you got just so you can know where generally what because with these sometimes you got to do it like in a 3D kind of thing. You got to give it depth with these things. And then you got to go over it with a lot of detail, of course. And the windows are easy because you want this window has two here, and you're just making the little cross things so you know it's a window. All right. See, this one looks abandoned, and I don't like that it looks abandoned, so we're just going to make this a window too. I'm going to make that one big window. I'm going to make this a functional. I'm just using this dimension just so I kind of know what to feed off of here. All right, and in here, this is like the porch area. So, this is going to be here. See, we're just making this. You just do your dimensions. I'm just looking at the dimensions, but I'm going to add trees and happy trees and stuff. And I want to do a porch. I don't like the way they kind of had this crazy looking porch here. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. I'm just bordering off everything because with pastels you can rub it. You make a mistake and you're going through it with like different marker too on top of it, which is good because it's just I don't know, it's just a good thing to have. All right, I'm gonna make a chair right here. I'm gonna do a chair. I feel a chair would give this stuff justice here. So and chairs are easy. just just do two straight lines and then you're doing that. You just visualize what a chair is. And then there you go. And then I'm going to fix it like I just made a chair. Just to have something fun going here. And then this is going to be grass. And then I'm going to have steps here. Steps are the easiest. Because steps come down this way. You want it just a little bit shorter. And then the next one comes a little bit shorter. And then that one is going to go here. And then I'm going to put in some railings here. And see, this isn't even the same sketch. None at all. And then you could put railings coming down here. You just go down the sides like this. You go across and down like that. And see with these, you do that. That's what's nice about pastels. Is we're doing this. And then you do the same thing. You're going like that for this side to show railings. Because a proper place would have railings. And then you're making your little railings here. And then I'm going to come down like this. Curvy lines down for like railings and things. Because you're trying to make this three-dimensional. If you want to try to make it three-dimensional, you got to sketch it three-dimensional. So. And there we go. So you got a three-dimensional thing. It looks like you could walk up in it. But you can't leave it like that because it looks like a little kid did it. So, now that I got all this done, this is like the back side of our cabin. Now, I'm going to do, on top there is boards. So we're just going to go down. Come that way. And we're just going down because we're going to show boards here. And this is how you show the boards. You're just going down and over this way. Because it's not a regular roof. It's a cabin. And we're going down. Or you could just do a lot of lines right here. Do that. I'm just doing this whole roof out so you can see that they just did this with boards. Because a log cabin has wood. Which we all know. Wood is wood. See, we got our roof. We got our wooden roof right there. I mean, if you think too deep, sometimes it makes it hard. Alright, now you're talking about the logs now. So these kind of want to be curvy. So you want to curve around. You want to make little curvy things because we are going to fix this. But you want to have this curved here. And then end your curve there. And make sure like where you have your window it stops and this comes out that way. And you could line it up with your window this way. That's what you I mean, I hope you guys can see it the sideways view. But I'm just laying out how you just freehand a sketch. And then I'm doing that, and then you do that. Alright. Then this where you start your grassy area. And then the logs go this way, so they're going to start curvy here. Wherever you do to one side, do the other. Alright, make sure that connects. And from here, you start here, make sure it all comes together. Make your little curves. The curves are important, and it's important for it to match. Whatever you got going on, make it match. Alright, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to smudge it out here very soon. But this is what makes the log cabin more unique looking. Is this. Alright, we're going to do all this in here because this is what a log cabin is. It's a roll of logs. It's just a roll of tree logs here. This is not rocket science. And then we go here and go there. Got the logs. And then with the roof, you're bringing this down because these aren't actual logs up here. Those are something different. Alright, I got everything the way I want. I don't even think I need that picture no more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start shading this out like this. And I'm just going to do certain areas. I'm going to make this a little bolder in areas. To show definition here. Just like this. I'm showing this nice definition. Just, literally it's like a crayon. It just colors. These are just different kinds of crayons if you think about it. They're just fancy crayons. I like to think of them as... Oh, there's the screaming again. Alright. There I am with my fancy crayons. Alright. Then we come over here, same thing. With our fancy crayons. I'm doing that. And get all this. It's good the more bolder lines you make with your log cabin. I'm getting better with this. I've been on a mission to be able to do a decent log cabin for like 6 months. And I've had to look on all these websites and a lot of stuff. And it's taken me some practice. But I finally made it. And really, that's it. One of my neighbors, you'll laugh out loud at this. She asked me what art teacher I was actually. She goes, "Oh, have you been going to school for that?" And I said, "No." I told her I do it myself. And she was so shocked. She actually thought I was going and taking art classes. Like, no, there's Google. Who in their right mind would take an art class when you got Google? I mean, anything you want to know, you can sit there and just read up on how to draw a log cabin, how to do this. I mean, it's clear cut out there. And I can learn like this very well. I can. Alright. I like to get all these lines before I get the paint. Before the paint hits this, I have a lot of the definition that I want. Because I have to have your definition. Oh God, you gotta have definition. And you want this because it gives it, I think it gives it a nice sleek look. And I'm going to do an extra stair there. And then I'm going to shade in this area more. The more you shade in, the better it looks. It really does. I'm going to shade that way. See, a shaded porch is nice. But that's why people like pastels. I mean, I always practiced with these because I personally love them. They have been my best friends. See how, now look how nice that looks. Just with the shading. And it looks like the things on Google that they have. And Etsy, some of them. I just can't believe people buy these. I would never buy this. I don't know. I just feel like they should give away these things for free. Personally. Alright, I'm going to do this just because I want that definition here. I want that definition of here's where this is. So I'm going to kind of get do more shading in here. And this is what shading does for a painting. Shading makes it nice. It really does. I'm going to shade out these windows. And then I'm going to do a little paint. There we go. Oh, we got that window shaded in. See, the shading makes everything better. And these pastels really aren't as expensive as you would think. I think it was only $20, and these things will last you a while. See, I'm just shading the area around my little chair. That's another method you can use. You want all this little shading done before you do anything else. I will say that much. You just don't want a whole lot of mess up here. Okay, I'm going to shade out this like this because it's not even. So I'm going to shade, I'm just shading in circles. I like to do circles to kind of give it a nice background. Do the I like this method, like towards the back here, because straight shading sometimes is okay, but I kind of like that shading just to even it out and just kind of make it look like it belongs a little, which isn't bad. And now I shaded in that, and right. I don't know. I feel like I want to get my green pastel here and do a little bit of grass. All right, we're gonna do the same method as I did with this, with the little life, but I gotta sketch it here. So same thing. You're just going waving it, fanning out this, fan it out, fan this out. Curve it one way, curve it the other way. Curve it one way, curve it the other way, but have them together. And you got this. Looks like we're getting grass. You want the grassy look of the? I want the grassy look. And then do that out that way. We're going this way and that way. And just keep doing that so you kind of got this filled in. Because grass lays flat. I mean, I know you guys know grass lays flat, but you just keep doing curvy lines. There you go. You got somewhat of a lawn now. Because you gotta kind of know where you're going with it. Gives you an idea. The sketch all together. So I'm gonna do curvy lines one way. You go this way and that way to get a nice little grassy area. I started when I was practicing and some other stuff doing this, and it really works, this curving of these lines, if you want to create vegetation, especially with the pastels. Just start doing little lines of this color, and then when you get to like to your other tools in the paint, it's nice. And then we got a lawn. Alright. And now, I mean, what the hell? Let's do a tree too. Alright. So this, I'm going to go and I'm going to make one of these small trees that kind of divide up this way. I've done so many trees, it's ridiculous. I kind of know how the terrain of trees. It's insane. You practice enough trees, you can get how to make a quick tree. So I got that. I made my tree here, and I'm gonna do my little leaves and the pastels also, and then go back over this in marker to give it a little more dimension here. Alright, we're just gonna make little leaves. Sometimes if you do too much, it makes it weird. So sometimes it's not the best thing to do too much. Sometimes just a little bit is enough. In this one, I kind of want to make it look I don't want to make it the fullest tree. I just want to do that. That's all I want to do with it. Just want to make it, maybe its leaves are falling off. I don't know. It's possible. Alright. Now, I'm going to get these little markers out. Okay. Now, I'm going to color in my chair. Alright. What color will the chair be? I had a damn black marker around here. I have all these different markers. Sharpie. Gotta love the Sharpies. You can use regular marker too, folks. Doesn't always have to be paint. I do have Teo tree markers that I got that were really cheap. I think it was only like $30 for 48 of them on Amazon. I feel bad sometimes how much I love Amazon because they say that they have unfair work practices. And I do feel bad. But maybe things will get better for people on Amazon. I don't know. I truly don't know. I hope it does, but I mind my own business. I got this from work. That's why it has this. Nobody wanted it. They was gonna throw it away, and I said, why not? I'm an artist. I think I'm an artist. I'm just joking. I guess I'm somewhat of an artist. Alright, and then I'm gonna do the windows and the black marker. I'm just using regular markers now with some of this. With this kind of piece, I'm thinking regular markers would be good. Sharpies, whatever. Teo Trees was pretty cheap, their markers, when I got those. And they have them with dual tips, and I can show you when I'm done with this. And I'm kind of just going under some of these. Let's see how I reinforce that over that. Kind of looks nice like that. Alright. Like that. Alright. I wanted to get the chair and all that, those details in this black marker back. Alright, I'm gonna get these acrylic ones now. Because I think my green one's almost out. I have so many more of these. My friend keeps buying me these. She buys me a lot of these. See, they got this part and they got the skinnier part. Since I did that, I'm going to do this. And then when you fan these out with this, kind of be a little careful, and I'm kind of going up with this to kind of show like a little bush. See, I made a little bush. Just a little bush, not a big bush. Little area. I just feel like this house is a bush house. They got their little landscape and they just planted a couple bushes around their house. And everybody does it. Especially around like springtime and stuff. People will be getting all these little different kinds of bushes and flowers for their house. Why wouldn't this log cabin have that? It should have all the comforts of home. It has a nice comfy chair. There you go. Do another bush. I mean, this by far, I want to say, is one of the best log cabins I've done. By far, I gotta say it's. I mean, it could get a little better, but on one hand, it's not terrible. It's not the best, but it's not terrible at the same time. So, and I'm gonna make those little fan flowers over here that just come out. And I'm going around in a circle with these. And the same thing, just fanning this out around in a circle. That's all I'm doing. And keep going like that.
I'm trying. I'm on my second one, girl. The coco's a little nervous.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm about to be working on my third one too, Paul. Oh.
Alright.
Oh no. That's good. I'm happy.
And we're going to do more fanning flowers this way.
No. No. I'm begging. Oh, come on. I'm working on the fourth one.
Alright, here we go. I'm just making a bunch of little plants around here. I'm fanning these out. Alright. Just a full circle with these. I'm just playing around with this.
Be nice, Peggy? Be nice? Okay. Well, the Peggy didn't tell me this now.
Alright. Here we go. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just going to kind of go with that. I'm just going to do little round circles here. Sometimes you just play around with the area. I'm just making little circles here and curving it to show the grass curving. Alright, we're going to do that. I'm hoping this looks like grass. I just play around. That's what I do. Or it just could be a growth, who knows. It is what it is. But these are just acrylic markers I'm using. That's what's the beauty of this is. Alright, it's not bad. Alright, now the log cabin, it's already kind of blue tinted, so. Alright. I'm gonna do. I mean, it's my own creation, so what the hell? I'm gonna put blue with. What paint do I want to have? The blue. I definitely don't want the green. I don't want to use pink because it makes no sense. I'll just use this dark blue. Okay. I'm going to use dark blue.
Oh, here you go. Right off the tip.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to put this inside next to the pastels. And these are the paint markers that I have, the acrylic paint ones. And I'm putting this right on the side of this. Just so the sketch painting kind of pops out. So I'm just putting one line on top of where the pastel is. to get even further definition to this. Because this is kind of what you want to do, is you want to give attention to all these good details you work so hard on. And just go right above. I'm going right above here. You can go below or above, but I kind of want where your eye looks above. And it pops everything going up. If you want everybody to look at and kind of be looking down more, you would define it more down. Alright. Alright.
I bet you go get creepy somewhere. I could be wrong.
Alright, I'm just going right on top. You can define as many of these lines as you want or don't want. Like if you wanted to, I just want a little line kind of, I'm doing this down. These lines I'm doing more down, so you're looking more down. See, I do that. First, these are going up, those are going down. Just to give this more dimension. Alright, and since this is on a slant, I'm going to start these little lines right here. Right there. Like where it's going up, and your brain automatically is going to look that way.
No, Michael, look up there, no. You an a-hole.
Go up like that, and you're constantly, I guess, you're drawing attention to the pastel. These paint markers really help with that. And this is why I like to call it the sketch painting, because technically you're using acrylic paint, but in pen form. You can use it. I do use it. Use the brushes also, but since I was donated these, I said why not? And they do work out like this, just as well.
Is that wood, baby?
Alright. There we go. And then I want to get maybe definition here.
Oh! Oh, yo, come on, bitch. Let me get up. I gotta get this part.
Alright, you want to show definition also here.
Come on, baby, let's go. I'm a dead. I think you ripped the flashlight. It's so wood. I don't know.
Alright. What else do I want definition to? Oh, where these railings are. Alright, where these steps are, I kind of want to get definition on the steps with this.
I mean, the piggy did just let me go. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, piggy.
Alright. There we go.
Look, piggy. Are you being nice? Look, pig, hey, pig.
Alright, I think it's not horrible.
Hold on.
I mean, it's not as good as the $400 sketch, but you know, not everybody's Picasso in the world here. Maybe one day I can get as good as a $400 sketch. I don't know. On Etsy. I'm gonna put more leaves on here with these. And the pastel ones I'm gonna leave alone to show dimension of maybe dying leaves because they have less color. Because they get lighter and then they get brown. But with the paint marker, that's what I'm doing, is just adding leaves. And I like to add a bunch here. And you could practice leaves. I practiced leaves for like 5, 6 hours once, just making the tree of life. And then I made other trees after that. I made the infinity tree. That was a pretty good one. Infinity tree is a fun. I enjoy painting the infinity tree. That I did. It was a good. It was a good fun sketch. It was long. I don't know what live stream it was on. I really don't. I can't think about it, but I do have a lot of different live streams. Even though I am doing tarot cards, I'm doing a bunch of other stuff. As people at my work always tell me, I do too much, which probably works out for social media. So, there we go. Then we got to mention with that also. And I think this is about done. We got that one done now. And that was just with acrylic markers and pastels. So I'm going to let you go since you guys don't have any tarot card questions. And I'm going to start doing reels on this. What else did I do today? So I did the Smurf. Oh, the angel. The angel, the bridge, and the cabin. Alright, I'm going to do reels on these as I did reels on the other ones yesterday. And I keep track of them. And I put them in there. It's all in order. It literally is all in order in there. Just like on the page, I'm a stickler about order. I like everything to be in order. That's the way my life is. I like if somebody gives me rules about something, I learn the rules and I just do it. It's my nature. This is what I like to do. This is how my brain works. So I will probably be on tomorrow. I try to be on every day I can. So I hope you guys had a good day. And if I'm contacting you on a time that you're sleeping, whenever you do see this, if you do, I hope you have a good day. And I'll be on tomorrow for more sketching. I need to practice this out more. And thank you for listening if you did. And if you subscribed, thank you so much also. And if you didn't, thank you for your time. And we appreciate you here at Chong the Dog. And I am going to go.